Hey guys, welcome back to another ride along video with myself, Michael from Sale Freaks, and Wilf. I've been dropshipping on Sale Freaks now for over 5 years. A wealth of experience in eBay dropshipping using the Sale Freaks platform. And Wilf, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Wilf. Loving this little series with Michael so far. It's been a massive help. I'm about 3 months in to dropshipping, so if any of you are kind of starting out or at a similar place, this is going to be a great piece of content to watch.
Yeah, it's like Bert and Ernie.
That's it.
Introduce yourself, Wilf. Yep, I'm Wilf. Anyway, let's get into that's how it goes. So yeah, if you are new to dropshipping, if you're still on the sidelines, whether to get involved in dropshipping enough, just a bit of a recap. Dropshipping is one of the super, I guess, low barrier entry kind of business models to get your put your foot into e-commerce, start making money online without actually laying out very much capital. You can virtually start for free using a free 14-day trial using the Sale Freak software and our 100% free drop shipping course. And all the information is in there for you as well. So let's get into it. So we've talked in other videos a little bit about the importance of listing items onto our store and scaling our store up. And you'd ask me just after we recorded the last video, what about items that aren't selling? And what was your kind of thought process behind that, Wilf?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about the capacity which the personal store that I have at the moment can hold. So we've got 1,000 listings that I can list for free. I was trying to think what's the best way of getting the most value out of each one of those listing slots. So I don't even know the numbers or the kind of percentage of my listings that are selling. So I want to kind of dive into that, find out how much are selling, which ones we should give more time, which ones should we, change the price, which ones should we get rid of completely, things like that.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. And I think that would be a good topic actually for the next video to go in to look at your successful listings and go and have a look at Zik Analytics and how that works and
Yeah.
how it helps us find other dropshippers, but actually how it helps us assess our own performance as well. But with that said, Wilf, yeah, log into Sale Freaks. Let's have a look at where you're at the minute, and let's have a look at those items. So just while Will's doing that, you're referring to your 1,000 free listings as a personal seller on ebay.co.uk. You
Yeah.
get 1,000 free listings, and you basically want to utilize those. You want to make sure that for the best part, most of those or a good percentage of those items are selling. Of course, not all the items will sell. Generally, as a rule of thumb, 20 to 30% of those items being successful is what we really aim for. Um, but even with less successful listings, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be profitable. You can still work with it. But the idea is that Wilf has a personal account. He wants to maximize his listing space and also his Sale Freaks package. There will be a point in time where Wilf could actually upgrade to a business account or open a second eBay account as a business account. That's when you'll start to scale up your listings, beyond 1,000, where you'll have a feature store, and then potentially if you scale bigger than that, you'll have an anchor store, which you would tend to move into once you get around 7,000 items,
Right.
8,000 items. But you can definitely grow with a feature store up to around 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 items even, and still keep the quality and still keep the successful listing percentage up. So generally speaking, Wilf, you want to give any item that you have a good 30 days to sell. Okay, so even by eBay's own kind of admission, your item has the best chance of selling within those first 30 days. And then after that, um, they're not really a new listing anymore. Any new listings coming in after that, especially the same items, might actually rank higher than yours.
Hmm.
So what eBay suggests to do, and we're maybe not, we're this is maybe for another video, but what they suggest to do at 30-day period would be to optimize the item. So that might be adding in some new item specifics, or that might be optimizing the title, or optimizing the description, or even optimizing the picture or something like that. But basically making a change to it where it's kind of trying to attract more buyers
Yeah.
to the eBay platform. And then what eBay said is if it gets to sort of 60 to 90 days, that's when you should consider removing the item altogether, or removing the item, optimizing it a little bit more, and then re-uploading it to the platform, so it almost gets that kind of fresh listing
Yeah.
boost again. And they suggest doing that sort of more towards the 90-day period. So what I would be looking for here, Wilf, on your store is maybe things that have been listed from 55, 56 days onwards that haven't sold. Okay,
Right.
so if we go into items, so the beauty about SaleFreaks is we can actually use an advanced filter to weed out these items that we're going to potentially cut, which is super super handy. And what I tend to do then is look for items that have zero orders. So in the hash orders box, we just want to put 0 and 0. Okay. And then down below, we can search for that creation time. So the creation time would be, like I say, somewhere sort of, even if we use 56 days to 365. So you want to go the other, yeah, that's it. So 56 in the first box and then 365, and that should,
Cool.
I mean, there should be nothing on there that is unsold past 365 days. So hopefully it never gets to the point where we need to add something else in there.
Cool.
Yeah, so perfect. So because you've been drop shipping literally coming up to 3 months, this is absolutely perfect. This is like the best time to do this. So you've got 122 items out of your 900 items. So just more than 10% really of your items are, let's say, dead. Okay, they're dead
Dormant.
weight, not doing anything for you. They've had their 3 months.
Yeah.
So you've got two options here. You can select all and delete them all, or you could select them all and you could export those listings first, just in case you wanted to try and optimize them, change the titles, whatever you need to do, and then re-upload them again. Because the interesting thing about re-uploading items that you already have on your store
Mm-hmm.
is, number one, you've already deemed them to be good items in the first place. As long as you're sourcing good items, as in, using your Zik Analytics, using a high search criteria, using the bestseller auto lister and things like that, then you have deemed these items to be good. Just because they haven't sold in your store doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad item, because we should always be making sure that this particular product sells well on eBay before we're listing the items. We may have some speculative ones from Coupon Hunter or something like that maybe aren't as well researched, for example, because we're just really looking for a coupon or money off.
Mm-hmm.
But theoretically, all these items are good items. They just haven't sold the first time around. So in some cases, just by removing them and optimizing them slightly and re-uploading them, you're giving them a second chance. You're giving them a little boost. And the second reason is they've already went through a Vero scanner. They've already been on your store. They're probably safe to list, should we say? Um, you probably run into the problem a lot of times where you maybe do product research for 30, 40 items or whatever. You go to list them and half of them get blocked because of the Vero
Yeah.
keywords or
Yeah.
brands
Yeah.
or anything like that. So you already know these items are good to go in your store. So I would suggest exporting it, even if you're not going to do it straight away. So
Mm-hmm.
export it. So take the bulk action, export it. Once that's exported, then we can click on remove. So at least if we do decide we want to list some of these items again, we can do it.
Yeah.
It's also a very good idea to do something like this after Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's for sold items as well. So just as a bit of an off-topic kind of side road tip, once it gets to kind of 25th of December into January, you could start looking for all those products that are maybe tagged as Christmas or have Christmas or something Christmassy in the title, and you can
Yeah.
actually export those, then remove them, and then what do you think you're going to do with those afterwards, Wilf?
Stick them up next year.
Stick them up next year. Exactly. It is as simple as that, because number one, it might have been selling really well. Number two, hasn't had an issue with any Vero issues or anything like that. And then number three, even if you go to upload it next year and it's out of stock or not available or something, then it won't list. SaleFreaks will block it. It'll check it as a new
Mm.
item. It'll check the price again. It'll check the stock again. Um, so again, it's just you know, making life easier for yourself a year down the line as you're starting to gather
Definitely.
these things up, you know?
Oh, this one doesn't know. Oh, there we go. So,
Okay, so that's cool. That's been exported to a CSV file that you can use later on. So now all we want to do is pop in a comment in the box beside remove and then just click remove. So that comment can be anything. It's really just stored in the description of the bulk action.
unsold, unsold listings. Easy as that.
Yeah, that's
Remove.
fine. We'll probably never look at that tag again
Yeah.
anyway, in this case. Yep, so it's handy that the little pop-up actually comes up there, and it is worthwhile to just double check what that actually says,
Mm.
um, because you know you could accidentally remove your entire inventory.
You wouldn't
You
want to do
know, yeah, and people have done that, strangely enough, which is
that.
not a good thing because once you start that ball rolling, it's very difficult for even support staff to stop that. But it has been known that people have been on autopilot, for example, and forgot to put in 0 to 0 orders, and
Mm.
it's removed all their selling items, or they've maybe clicked the wrong filter or whatever it's been, and they've just been on autopilot. Click, 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 update, and then oh wait, that's like 5,000 items or whatever, or they can see all their selling items being delisted and wonder what the hell have I
Yikes.
done. So just it's good. The pop up comes up. Always be careful. Double check everything that you're doing before actually doing that, taking that action. But that's absolutely perfect. So you've removed 122 items today. Now, realistically, it's kind of bad for the eBay algorithm. So eBay obviously wants you grow in the store every day. So what I would try and do is I would try and up my listing quota for today and tomorrow to kind of balance that out a little bit
Hmm.
and bring you back up to those 1,000 listings. Obviously, we don't have to do that right now, but that's just as a general rule. We don't really want to be removing more than really 10% of our store in any day. And like I say, we would want to be trying to relist, fresh products or optimize the ones that we've removed and then add them back in again.
Hmm.
Now, normally, it will take 25, 30 minutes, 40 minutes for those items all to kind of be removed from your eBay store. So if you are out there and you are kind of want to try this technique as someone that is a SaleFreaks user, for example, if you're going to re-upload the items that you've removed, give them a couple of hours before you start re-uploading the same items. I've even waited a kind of day or two so that it really feels like it's like a fresh new item being uploaded onto the store.
Yeah.
So the other thing I would look at as well is out of stock and inactive items. So if we click on reset for the filter, yep, naturally if it's out of stock, you're not going to be able to sell it. Okay, pretty straightforward, right? So there's no point in those taking up space on your SaleFreaks package or on your eBay listing. So again, I would just put orders 0 to 0. And sometimes I like to leave the ones that are out of stock that have had orders just in the event that they come back into
Yeah.
stock again. Now with the creation time, I will bring that back a little bit further. So I want to bring it back to sort of 25 days. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want if the item's out of stock and it's coming up for renewal on eBay, it's going to renew every 30 days
Hmm.
as a fresh list, and it's going to take up one of your listing packages, or it's going to cost you money, for example, if you've not got free listings.
Right.
You'll probably find you don't have too many on there that are out of stock.
56.
So there's a few. I mean, you've been listing for 3 months now without, removing anything. You'll find actually a lot of these ones will also be overlapped within
Right.
the first lot that you did. So it's pretty safe just to remove these ones altogether.
And from an algorithm point of view, is there any advantage of, you know, removing half of them one day and then waiting a few days and removing half again, or is it just not worth your
Yeah, I
time?
mean, what you'll actually find is if you're doing this like kind of more often, you'll find that if you're listing often, you'll be removing quite often as well, and actually the numbers will
Hmm.
be very low anyway of
Right.
the
Okay.
ones that you're actually removing. So you'll find that it'll be okay. But if you did forget, for example, there is definitely an advantage in removing them in sections as well. Now I would imagine because these have got zero sales and because they're all within the same date range, you'll have a lot of overlap in here. So there'll probably be, because in the first search we're looking for inactive, active, in stock, and out of stock.
Yeah.
A lot of these will actually be
Sure. Sure.
within that first bracket, apart from the ones that are maybe between 25 and 56 days old. So there'll be maybe 10, 20. So that's, I would just remove them and get done with it. And then we
Cool.
can
Cool.
check back as well over the next couple of days to see just if it has had much of an impact on the sales.
Yeah.
I feel like out of stocks have less of an impact because they're kind of like they're a dead listing on eBay anyway, with it
Mm.
being out of stock and inactive.
Yeah.
Whereas the active ones will have maybe a bit more of an impact.
Cool. 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 In progress. That is good. That's 60, 70. That's 170 listings. 170 slots freed up, which will be good.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see just how many of those are overlap, but you will. I mean, you've definitely freed up. I would say 140, 150 there.
Yeah,
No
that's a
bother.
very good point. Very good point.
Which means that you can go ahead and list more items, fresher items, and even if you wanted to take your time with the ones you've exported and start
Hmm.
optimizing those. Even copy and paste the title into Chat GPT and say, please optimize this
Yeah.
title, and quick as a flash, you can have fresh optimized titles as well. Um, I'm just trying to think any other instances where you would maybe want to remove items. It just really depends on the store size. This is probably like the perfect time for you. If it was me going forward in a kind of a normal day-to-day basis, I would probably want to be removing items maybe 2 or 3 times a week and just trimming
Hmm.
those back. There's other advice out there that says you should just keep listing, just keep listing, just keep listing. I feel it's bad advice because every listing that isn't selling or isn't selling within a period, it's actually costing you money, whether it be on a Sale Freak subscription or whether it be on your eBay store, for
Yeah.
example. And I feel like keeping your successful listings higher also brings more sales. It's all about traction. It's all about ranking with eBay. Yes, you want your store to grow. You don't want to be in a situation where you're, stuck on 500 items, for example, because you're adding 50, removing 50, so on and so on. You always want to be on a nice trajectory up,
Hmm.
growing and scaling up. But it's definitely not a case of just keep throwing listings
Yeah.
on top of each other, letting them get stale. Because once they go over 90 days old, it's rare that you'll start getting sales on those just randomly out of the blue. It's not completely unheard of, but you know, if eBay are telling you how
Yeah.
their site works, how the algorithm works, you may as well listen to them because
And
they're the ones
also,
all.
they're also benefiting from when you make a sale because they are taking their fee. So if they're telling you to do it, then they own it. You're right. They're
They're
probably
telling you for a reason.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not. The only way they make money is if you're selling items. Yes, they're going to make a few pence from the listing fees or whatever, but realistically it's the 10-15% that they're taking for the final value fee, so they want you to sell items.
Hmm.
So let's quickly have a look at how your eBay store is performing because we did some promoted listings. We've obviously been making a lot of changes on your store, and again, everything that we do will positively or negatively affect the algorithm, will affect the trajectory, the traction of the store, and all these things.
Yeah. Quick update from I think the last episode when we had that issue with they wanted my ID, the KYC stuff.
Mm.
Literally within 5 minutes of posting it, I had another email saying everything was fine, and then this morning they sent me £100 because the payments were on hold for a while. So that's good
Okay, well, I thought you were going to say they just sent you a hundred pounds just for the
for fun.
inconvenience. That does not sound like eBay at all. I feel like we were actually going to talk about this social media thing as well, and then we kind of forgot about it. So this has been popping up on the eBay stores lately, and basically it's allowing you to connect a business page
Hmm.
of whatever sorts to social media. which I'm guessing they want, their listings or essentially your listings to get a wider reach. And I feel like that's something that someone is going to figure out before I do, and then we're going to be able to kind of jump on the back of that or refine it or whatever. So it's interesting because I haven't seen many people talking about it yet. But if you click on the visit social button, let's just have a run through it. I've been through this a little bit. So you can obviously schedule your posts on social media, create social posts, and it's basically to showcase your listings, across Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, which I think can only do good. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, we're drop shippers, so I think for these platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, like Pinterest, they definitely heavily favor people that have, like, again, a bit like eBay, have unique content,
Hmm.
probably videos of the products and things like that. Now, I really like the idea of this because it could almost get you into that situation where, and I know we're drop shipping, but it can also feed into that situation where you could actually be buying your stock and selling it online,
Mm.
even if it's from the same suppliers that you're drop shipping it to. So if this was me, for example, right off the face of things, I was thinking if it was me, I would be searching for my products that sell the most via drop shipping, and I would maybe start listing those products or showcasing those products on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, as
Yeah.
my business, eBay store, whatever. Create a new Facebook page for it, create a new Instagram, create a new Pinterest, and start using the products that are selling. What you could even do, and it would cost you nothing, is you could buy the product from Amazon. Let's say your best selling products cost you, 10, 15 quid or whatever. Um, Buy the product, get the product, and then kind of make a creative video with that product.
UGC, user generated content. You can make some. My girlfriend loves this new product I bought. Like that's the kind of stuff you see on TikTok all the time.
Yeah,
If you delve
exactly.
into any of that stuff, it's
I'm
always
surprised TikTok's actually not on
advertising.
there as well. So I don't know whether
Yeah.
it's an interesting one because TikTok's not on there. But yeah, UGC, all that kind of stuff. Buy the product for yourself. Actually, you could use the product. You could pick a product that actually, okay, this is the best selling product of mine, but I would actually use it, so you're not wasting money.
Yeah.
Uh, there could be other people out there, and I'm not suggesting that you do this, but you could literally get the product from Amazon and then open a return and send it straight back to Amazon. Cost you nothing. Take it out, take a few
Yeah.
pictures, or whatever. Don't do this because that's it would be frowned upon, I would imagine. But yeah, you could. I mean, you could do that. But like I say, buy some of your own products. If it works well, and I mean, this is kind of an inroads to more outside of dropship and outside of sale freaks. But I love talking about this e-commerce stuff. So let's roll with it because we're not just here um, to push one agenda or the other. It's here, to kind of get people thinking. But if it was a good enough product, you could go and try and source that product directly from
Mm.
the distributor or the wholesaler and then stock some of those products because if they sell really well on eBay anyway, you can start fulfilling those products yourself or use a third party fulfillment center. So let's say, I don't know, you find like a specific makeup brand and you're selling like, 5, 10, 15, 20 of these things a month. You could start to buy 10 or 15 of them, take the pictures, have it on Facebook, have it on Instagram, have it on Pinterest, and you could nearly have a drop shipping stroke small element of wholesale or physical goods.
Hmm.
And you probably make a bigger margin because you're going and sourcing it from somewhere else. But you have all your own market research, you have all your own data, you've got your Sale Freaks account, you can see what's working, you can see what's not working, and you know, if it continues to sell on eBay, you have some physical stock, you can go and post it out. You have a better margin, so hopefully you cover your postage and all that kind of stuff. But it's very, very interesting. But the main thing is with this, going back to the drop shipping and the side that we wanna go down is having three more places potentially to have eyes on your products.
Yeah.
It's never a bad thing because
Not at all.
Facebook's free, Instagram's free, Pinterest is free. So
Pinterest is
shoot,
nearly, while it is like a visual or social media, it is basically a marketplace in some ways because they have those in content links. So like, let's say this photo here was a Pinterest post, you could click on this jacket
yeah,
and it would link you to it. Also, what I think is quite interesting is that they're doing analytics here. So I assume on your selling page, when it says sold via promoted listings, it will be able to say sold from Facebook or sold from Instagram, sold from Pinterest,
right, yeah,
which
exactly, man,
I mean
exactly.
really helps to kind of figure out where your sales are coming from and then go all in on that platform.
I'm feeling a test coming on here, Wilf. I
I
feel like
think
this we could test
I think
out.
so.
But yeah, it's really, really interesting, and it's free traffic essentially. I mean, it might not be much traffic at the start. It depends. Like everything, you probably have to build a bit of traction, but it's free traffic, and I'm guessing there must be some sort of agreement between these platforms
Yeah.
to, because I know Facebook and that they don't like certain links from certain places, or whenever you have to put the link in the comments or such and such. So it'll be interesting
Mm,
to see how it integrates and how easy it is to click to bring you to
yeah.
someone's eBay store, for example. So very, very interesting. Definitely something we should be thinking about more.